Let's talk about how you can make big melodic tracks like this.
But have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream? And we're just waiting in line to wake up.
Now, I don't make these videos just for people to copy this style in their own music. Like, I'll never release this track, it's too much of a ripoff. I do it because there's always some interesting things to learn when studying different artists, and you can take those ideas and apply it to your own style. And the first thing to learn here actually has nothing to do with the music. So right now, Afterlife has gotta be the hottest label and show in electronic music. I remember going to an Afterlife show like 4 or 5 years ago here in New York at Brooklyn Mirage, and I remember the music they were playing just blew my mind. It sounded like it was from 20 years in the future. But recently they've really invested a lot of money into making the graphic design just as much a part of the live show as the music. And I think this is completely genius. Look at all the phones in the crowd. Everyone in the comments of these videos is complaining about how nobody's living in the moment at these shows and everyone's just on their phones taking videos the whole time. What Afterlife has done is make their shows so shareable on social media. Everyone here is going to throw this video on Instagram or TikTok or just send it to their group chat. And that's a big reason why the Afterlife brand has spread like wildfire. That's why they're the biggest show right now. So as someone who makes music or plays shows, remember to always think about how shareable what you're doing is. But the coolest part for me is that the music still sounds like it's 20 years from the future. This music is made for live shows. The first way they've done that is with big cinematic chord progressions. Chord progression should sound like it's straight out of a movie. Like, that sounds like it could be straight out of Interstellar. And the way you achieve that big sound is by layering. The only electronic sound I have in this big stack of chords is this pad. Everything else is a sample of a real instrument. We've got an organ, brass ensemble, then a few different types of strings. And we tie it all together with this big atmosphere drone. And it's pretty important here that the chord changes are only happening every 2 bars. The pacing is a lot slower, and it gives that nice contrast for when the drop comes in and has way faster pacing. All of those layers just create a nice bed for the lead melody to sit on top of. This is actually a preset for my new sound pack that you can check out at bigsysounds.com. I've just tweaked it a little bit to fit this song. But Afterlife melodies tend to have some sort of unique rhythm like this has. If you didn't have these little stutter notes, these 30-second notes, that doesn't sound nearly as cool. Also, you can see down here I have some subtle pitch bending going on the whole time. You can really hear it at the end. That also helps make it more cinematic. The second thing that Afterlife artists do really well is use automation and space to control the tension. Everything in this breakdown is moving. I have all the cinematic instruments going to this bus where they're fading in over time. And the lead melody starts out really filtered and short. But by the end, it's fully open with a long release. Then all the drums are moving too. These shaker loops start super far in the background. Then by the end of the build-up, they're at the front of the mix. Same with the snares. And another tool you can use to create tension is space. So many Afterlife tracks have a big empty space before the drop hits.
And we're just waiting in line to wake up.
And it's so satisfying when that tension is finally released and the drop hits. And even once the drop hits, you'll notice the trend of empty space continues. The less is more approach can help your mixes sound a lot bigger. Right at the beginning of the drop, we get a ton of energy from this synth. This sound is also from my new modern synths pack at bigzsounds.com. But after this big wall of sound, we let the track breathe by just playing the kick and the bass line. And we have this melody that's coming in and out. It's alternating. Sometimes it sounds huge in the forefront of the mix, and sometimes it sounds filtered and more in the background. The key word here, again, is contrast. Having some parts with lots of energy and then scaling that energy back helps give the mix some more room to breathe. We're also really only focusing the mix on one big sound at a time. It's not too crowded, there aren't too many layers here. And what that allows me to do is turn these main synths up super loud in the mix. If I had a ton of layers, I wouldn't be able to do that. The mix would sound too muddy. And that's why in the second half of the drop, when I do bring a lot more layers back in, I bring all the cinematic chords back in, I don't use that big synth sound anymore.
But have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream? And we're just waiting in line to wake up.
And just like the breakdown, everything is being automated. Everything has movement. It's being filtered in or gain automated in just to give it life. And almost all of these synths, like this one, and that rolling bass line, and the other ones I showed you are all from my modern synths pack. So if you want to take a closer look at that, you can check it out at bigzsounds.com. And also, if you want to take a deeper look into this project to learn some more, I've left a free download for everything you would want, like the project file, the mix stems if you don't use Logic, the drum samples, that's all below in a free download. Anyway, I hope you can take these overall ideas and apply them to your own music. Thanks for watching. Peace.